An 86-year-old man was sitting at the Double Dutch bar, waiting to meet an old friend for drinks. As he waited, a stunning young woman walked into the bar and sat down, just a few seats away from him. She was so beautiful that the man couldn't help but stare. After a while, the woman noticed his gaze and decided to approach him. Before the old man could even apologize for staring, she looked him straight in the eyes and spoke in a seductive tone. "I'll do anything you want. Whatever your wildest dreams are, no matter how unusual or extreme, I'm up for it. All I ask is for $100 and one other condition." Taken completely by surprise, the old man asked, "What's the condition?" She replied, "You can only tell me what you want in 3 words." The man thought for a moment, then pulled out his wallet and handed her a $100 bill. He looked her directly in the eyes and said with a slow and deliberate voice, "Paint my house. ... This week in Little Johnny's English class, they were learning about punctuation. When they got to periods, Johnny asked, "Why are periods so important?" The teacher informed him and asked why he wanted to know. He said, "When my sister told us that she missed a period, my father began yelling, and my mom passed out." "Irende, of course I won't laugh," said the nurse. "I am a professional. In over 20 years of working here, I've never laughed at a patient." "Okay then," said Bob, and he proceeded to drop his trousers, revealing the smallest male part the nurse had ever seen. In length and width, it was almost identical to an 8AA battery. Unable to control herself, the nurse tried to suppress a giggle, but it just came out. Feeling very bad at laughing at the man's part, she composed herself as well as she could. "I am very sorry," she said. "I don't know what came over me. On my honor as a nurse and a lady, I promise that won't happen again. Now tell me, what seems to be the problem?" "It's swollen," Bob replied. She ran out of the room. 3 dots, a bus full of ugly people crashes into a truck, and sadly, everyone on board dies. When they arrive at the gates of heaven, God, feeling sorry for all the misery they endured in life, decides to grant each of them one wish before they enter paradise. The first person steps up and says, "I want to be gorgeous." God snaps his fingers, and just like that, they're stunning. Seeing this, the next person says, "I want to be beautiful too." Another snap, another transformation. One by one, each person wishes for beauty, and the line keeps moving. But near the back of the line, one guy starts laughing. At first, it's just a chuckle, but as more people get their wishes granted, he's struggling to hold it in. By the time God is halfway through the line, the guy is in full-blown hysterics. When there are only a few people left, he's rolling on the floor, tears in his eyes. Finally, it's his turn. God looks at him curiously and asks, "And what is your wish?" Catching his breath, the man grins and says, "Make 'em all ugly again." Nanga. 2 old men decide they are close to their last days and decide to have a last night on the town. After a few drinks, they end up at the local brothel. The madam takes one look at the 2 old geezers and whispers to her manager, "Go up to the first 2 bedrooms and put an inflated doll in each bed. These 2 are so old and drunk, I'm not wasting 2 of my girls on them. They won't know the difference." The manager does as he is told, and the 2 old men go upstairs and take care of their business. As they are walking home, the first man says, "You know, I think my girl was dead." "Dead?" says his friend. "Why do you say that?" "Well, she never moved or made a sound all the time I was loving her." His friend says, "Could be worse. I think mine was a witch." "A witch? Why the hell would you say that?" "Well, I was making love to her, kissing her on the neck, and I gave her a little bite. Then she farted and flew out the window. Took my teeth with her. Einde. The lion, being the king of the jungle, decided to throw a grand birthday party and invited all the animals. But there was one condition. Everyone had to bring him meat as a gift, or else he would punish them in a very unfortunate way. On the big day, the animals lined up outside the lion's cave, each carrying their offering. The wolf brought lamb, the fox had a chicken, the leopard dragged in an antelope. Everyone had come prepared. Then the rabbit stepped forward. With a carrot, the jungle fell silent. The lion stared at the rabbit and growled. "You know what this means, right?" Trembling, the rabbit stammered, "I'm so sorry, my lord. I couldn't find any meat." Bam! The rabbit hit the ground, groaning in pain. But after a moment, he suddenly started laughing. The lion raised an eyebrow. "What's so funny?" Still wiping away tears of laughter, the rabbit said, "Oh, nothing, my lord. I just remembered the hedgehog is behind me, in line, and he's bringing you an apple." A small bald man storms into a bar, his face flushed with frustration. He slams his hand on the counter and growls, "Give me a double of the strongest whiskey you've got." I'm so mad, I can't even see straight. The bartender, noticing the man looks a little worse for wear, pours him a double of Southern Comfort. The man downs it in one gulp and says, "Give me another one." As the bartender pours, he says, "Why don't you let off some steam and tell me what's got you so riled up?" The man sighs and starts his tale. "I was at the bar next door, minding my own business, when this absolutely stunning blonde walks in and sits right next to me. I couldn't believe it. It was like a dream come true. A few minutes later, she leans over and asks if I'd like to go back to her hotel to have dinner and talk. Well, I haven't had a good meal in forever, so of course I said yes. She grabs my hand and we walk to this fancy hotel. She takes me up to her room, tells me to relax, and says she'll be ready to head to the restaurant in a few minutes. Just as I'm settling into the recliner, I hear keys jingling and someone fumbling with the door. She panics and says, "Oh no, it's my boyfriend. He must have lost his wrestling match tonight. He's going to be furious. Quick, hide." So I look around for a hiding spot. The closet. No, that's the first place he'd look. Under the bed, same deal. Then I see the windows open. With no other options, I climb out and hang from the windowsill by my fingers. The bartender raises an eyebrow. "Wow, that's rough." "Oh, it gets worse," the man continues. The guy storms in and starts yelling, "Who've you got in here, you cheating witch?" She's trying to calm him down, but he's tearing the place apart. First, he rips the closet door clean off the hinges and throws it across the room. I thought, thank God I didn't hide in there. Then he flips the bed over like it's nothing. I think, good call not hiding under there. Then I hear him say, "What's that by the window?" I'm sweating bullets, thinking I'm done for. But the blonde distracts him enough that he doesn't come over right away. Well, a minute later, I hear water running in the bathroom. I think maybe he's cooling off, but nope. Suddenly, he dumps a pitcher of scalding hot water right out the window, all over me. Look at my burns. He pulls at his shirt to reveal red, blistered skin. The bartender winces. Man, that's brutal. I'd be furious too. Oh, I wasn't done yet. After that, the jerk starts slamming the window down on my fingers, over and over. Look at these. He holds up his hands, which are swollen and bloody. The bartender shakes his head in sympathy. Wow, buddy, I can see why you're so upset. But the man slams his fist on the bar. No, that's not even what made me mad. The bartender, now thoroughly confused, asks, "Then what finally did?" The man groans and says, "After all that, I turned around and looked down. I was only 6 inches off the ground." 7 dots. A father, walking past his daughter's bedroom, was amazed to find the bed neatly made and everything perfectly tidy. Then he noticed an envelope prominently placed on the pillow. It was addressed, Mom and Dad. With a sinking feeling, he opened the envelope and began to read the letter, his hands trembling. Dear Mom and Dad, I'm writing this with a heavy heart, and I hope you can forgive me. I had to run away with my new boyfriend, Alex, because I wanted to avoid a huge confrontation with you both. I've found real happiness with him, but I know you wouldn't approve because of his piercings, tattoos, love of motorcycles, and the fact that he's so much older than me. But it's not just love, Mom and Dad. I have some big news. I'm pregnant. Alex says we'll be fine. He's got a small cabin deep in the woods, and we've stocked up on firewood for the winter. We're also praying that science will soon find a way to cure his condition, so he can get better. Please don't worry about me. I'm 16 now, and I know how to take care of myself. One day, I'll come back to introduce you to your grandchildren. Until then, I hope you can accept my decision. Love, your daughter, Emma. P.S. Mom and Dad, none of this is true. I'm actually at Sarah's house. I just wanted to remind you, there are worse things in life than the grade report on the kitchen table. Let me know